and select Advanced Week to get to your next game.
Saquan Barkley, welcome to the NFL. It's the coach. You're tuned into Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Giants fans will see the debut of their dynamic new runner, number 2 overall pick, Saquon Barkley, as the New York Giants are in for a test, facing one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the early games. Let's get you back up to MetLife Stadium. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing on first down is Bortles. Shedding the tackle. And a big loss here as he's taken down. B.J. Goodson. Able to run him down for a loss of about 20 yards. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Bortles trying the option to the right. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Now the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Leonard Fournette commands a lot of attention, not just because he was the first 1,000-yard running back for Jacksonville since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. It's because of his ability to hit the hole fast, to knock people over when he's carrying the football, and to run away from people when he gets to the open field. He actually has changed the identity of the Jacksonville offense, and I'm looking forward to watching him for years to come.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. And they get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the first NFL carry for Saquon Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
A key cog in this passing attack is Evan Ingram, who was a rookie out of Mississippi in 2017. Gave the Giants 722 yards through the air and a whole lot of excitement building for his future in 2018 and beyond. Drafted as a tight end, plays more like a wide receiver, able to get downfield and win one-on-one routes against defensive backs.
On second down, here's Barkley. Wasn't a ton of space, but a great move. He's able to work it to the 20-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking, what Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son. But they grew up watching Jets games, just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo. Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-men. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Corey Coleman, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You have a lot to handle in this one.
Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jags heading out on offense. Last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? Seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. For the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So the defense... They're opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Watch it now, Barney.
A first down carry for Barkley. He spins free and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. They'll set up a throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's caught. Shepard. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Remember this Jacksonville D, 55 sacks a season ago.
I think they want to fight for nickname supremacy with Pittsburgh. Remember, they were just one behind Pittsburgh for the overall lead in sacks last year. Pittsburgh known as Blitzburg. Jacksonville, they're known as Saxonville.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having
T.J. Yeldon. And this will get him all the way inside the Giants' 10. It's a big play for the Jaguars. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. It clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquan Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Talvin Smith.